Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. And fancy, thank you so much for almost being here first. uh, Thank you for almost being here first. Okay. Uh, hmm, yep, that looks good. I think I got too many screens open. Let me close a couple of these screens. Oh, oh yeah. One thing I need to do. Didn't think about it till just now. Well, anyway, welcome. If you just joined us, please make sure you hit the like button. Um, and that boost thing, I don't even know what the boost does, but boost the video if you can. Um, what else? Oh, Emma D, thank you so much for being here first. Fancy, thanks for being here almost first. Remember, there are no winners or losers. There are just some people who get here first and some people don't. Okay. Um, there we go. So Megan was out in her garden today. It's just a very short, incredibly short video, but I will share it with you. And let's see. Megan Garden. Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay. Get that out of my way. And let me show it to you. Now I'm going to have to turn the sound down because I got a copyright infringement the other day. Something that I thought was just some kind of, you know, background music in the public domain. Well, guess what? It wasn't just background music. And I got, what do you call it? You know, when they do that, they don't pay you for the video. So just imagine doing all that work and then you find out that you have a copyright infringement and you're not going to get paid for what you just did. All that work circling the drain. So I have to be more careful. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's no music. Oh, there's no music. Ah, there we go. Megan and the As Ever is the music. Okay, well done, Megan. You know what I love about this is it just has that not bothered look. You know what I mean? Megan is just totally not bothered. All of the shade and backstabbing and cloak and dagger stuff going on over there across the pond. And Megan is out there enjoying her garden. Yep. So leave Megan alone. All right. Okay, let's get over here then. Do you guys think I kind of went overboard with the thumbnail? Do you think I The reason why I have such an elaborate thumbnail is because the way they're acting over there, are they going to put their kids through school, or is this a coronation? I'm convinced that this is a coronation that's coming up. The way these people are acting is just it's breathtaking. I'm like, what is going on over there on Salt Island? It's like some kind of what do you call that? One of those movies where I guess like Hunger Games or something. It's like the Hunger Games over there. What is wrong with those people? I mean, you know, they're acting even strange for Britain. Britain can be kind of quirky. You all know that. I mean, you must admit Britain can be kind of quirky. And I mean, I've been around and I've spent time. I've actually stayed in a home in Brixton, and you know, I get it. But this is even kind of weird for the UK. I guess maybe it's the distraction that people need or want, or they just must have it, but get a grip. It's not all that serious. They're just going over there and they're going to put their kids through school, and the kids will be educated with a English history, which I was thinking about that the other day, and they are in line for the throne. And even though they in all likelihood would never get the big job, um as a matter of fact, when the Cambridge kids or Wales kids start having kids of their own, they are going to be pushed further and further to the margin. So it won't be so important. But if I were if I even Megan, some people think maybe Megan's probably not so happy about this, but she's supporting her husband. I disagree. Even if I were the American and my partner was the Brit and our children were um, in line for the throne, if they were, if our kids had those royal titles and everything, I would want those kids to have everything that comes with their position. I would. I would want the kids to have it. But yes, first and foremost, I want the children safe. I'm going to have to say that because I don't want you guys to think that I'm just putting the titles ahead of everything else. I definitely would want those children to be as safe as possible. And I do. I do want them to be as safe as possible. But there is a heritage that is in question right now. If they don't learn now, while they're more likely to kind of take it all in, then what is going to happen later when the kids are older and maybe a little rebellious and just can't be bothered? You know what I mean? So these are those formative years, and the Sussexes want those kids to have that English education. Now, I kind of got in trouble because someone thought I was implying that I believe that the British education is the best that there ever has been and all that. No, of course not. Um, but I don't know outside of the UK where they are going to learn certain things about British history. Is where else will they teach that? So, oh, at least to the degree that it's taught there. And when you consider all of the people around the world who have their children going through one of the schools in the UK or something like that, I mean, it just makes sense. Yes, I don't like how complicated this has become. It has become so complicated. It's even taken a life of its own. It's like the move itself seems to be a person, right? The move, not just the Sussexes, but the move itself seems to be a thinking, breathing, fussy, contrary person. But the move is an act; it's not a person. Okay. Now, buckle your seatbelts because it's about to get weird. It is really about to get weird. Where the hell did they get that from? 96% of Brits support Prince William. 96% of Brits support Prince William. There wasn't 96% of Brits that supported Queen Elizabeth, dead or alive. Where would you get 96% of anybody to support anything? It doesn't happen. It does not happen. And to pretend that it does is offensive to me. It's an affront. It really is. 90%, 96% of the people of Britain support William. Are you all talking to me or are you talking about William? Or should I say, are you talking to William? This is hooey, nonsense, BS. That sounds more like North Korea. It does. It sounds like North Korea. This cannot exist. It does not exist. I mean, what did they do? Go to like some pensioners' home? The public backs William. Revealed just 4% of Brits believe William should make the first move in the peace talks with Harry. As palace sources reveal, bid by one of King's most trusted aides to reunite the warring princes. I just don't believe it. I do not believe it. I refuse to believe it. 96% of anything for anybody for any reason is just unheard of. I mean, they make it sound like a SAT score. And it's just article after article. God, is this strange? I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Seriously, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Let's see. They assume Harry would be interested in letting William anywhere near his family. Uh oh, didn't mean to do that. And then, of course, over here it says Charles cuts William out of $2 billion will. That's okay. That's the Globe. By the way, you guys, that is an American tabloid. It only prints once per week, only one copy per week. They don't have a 7 day, they don't have a Sunday paper, only once a week. And that goes for the Star and the Inquirer and I think they call it the Examiner. They only come out once a week. And nobody takes what they say as the truth. Nobody. They only have them at the supermarket checkout. The public backs William. I would like to know how they did that poll. I seriously want to know how they did that poll. There has got to be an explanation. And until, let me see. I mean, his favorability, according to the YouGov, is like 76%. So, how do you get 96% of people backing him for anything? Job performance, 71%. The 96, okay, here goes. The 96% is higher than general public polling and typically reflects specific demographic subset. Did you hear that? It reflects a specific demographic subset, such as particular political alignment or historic subgroup data. For instance, older demographics or strong monarchist subset in older surveys rather than the general British population as a whole. Yeah. Um, hmm. Oh well. I'm gonna move on. I think it's sick. Now, here we go with the clever headlines. We're all grinning together. Get it? We're all in it together. We're all grinning together. Now, whoever wrote that should have the business end of a buggy whip. There is no excuse for that nonsense. We're all grinning together. Go to hell. Let's see. Royals put on a united front at church. You guys, they were going to go to church anyway. I repeat, this is not a summit. They go to Balmoral every year since the time of Queen Victoria. This is a royal family tradition. In order to maintain a strong connection with Scotland, it is very important that the sovereign takes a trip up there to Balmoral. Now, I don't doubt that the Queen, Queen Elizabeth, loved Balmoral. I don't doubt that Charles loves Balmoral. William, he won't even wear the stupid um, clothes that he's supposed to wear. He refuses to do it. He refuses to wear the kilt, a time honored traditional garment that has been part of the Scottish identity for how long? 1,000 years. And he just refused to wear it. Do you know how many people fly all the way to Scotland and go to a Scottish wedding just so that they can wear that kilt? I would. But William, not so much. He just can't be bothered. He won't wear it for anything in the world. He has not worn a kilt since he was a kid. Part of his job, not officially, but part of his job. Royals put on a united front at church. They were going to go to church anyway. Driven to despair. You know what? If I see one more clever headline, I am going to barf. If I see one more of these little cutesy clever headlines, I am going to upchuck. That's what I'm going to do. We're grinning together. That's the worst thing I've seen since Kate was gone for 172 days. And what was the headline? Is Kate to see you? Oh my God. This is why the world is in trouble now. Is Kate to see you? Oh, bleh, bleh. See, I'm retching. Ugh. Is Kate to see you? Why they working my nerves? Is Kate to see you? Driven to despair. We're all grinning together. Oh, do they pay someone to just sit around and think of stuff like this? Who does that? The world is going to hell in a handbasket, and there's someone at the tabloids writing these stupid headlines. So, what we're to believe is that suddenly Charles and William, as in villain and William, Charles and William are suddenly closer. Yes, Charles and William the Terrible are suddenly bosom buddies. William doesn't even want to be there, okay? If there was any way to get out of it, he would have taken it. Have the royals declared war on someone? United front against Harry for church? Ridiculous. The British media is so frightened that they have no control over the Sussexes in any way. I'm telling you, you guys, as I have gone through all these articles and headlines and commentaries and such, it just goes from bad to worse. It just goes from bad to worse. Now, oh my gosh, what is that lady's name? I can't remember the name. Oh, anyway, one of the squaddies made this, and I forgot to put her to credit her on there. But as you can see, it says fashion contacts. And then she left a quote, in the caption, she wrote, disaster averted or something like that, or now we can all relax, or something, something kind of clever like that. But yes, now that Kate has decided that she is going to give Meghan her fashion contacts, now we can all relax, right? Of course, Meghan is going to be very polite and wait until she gets home and drop that in the waste paper basket. If it was me, I would just like crack the window open. I would let the car window down just enough, a little, lower enough so that that book could just kind of slide between the glass and the door. That's what I would do. It would never make it to my house. I would wait until I got on a bridge, right? And I would try to find a river with a nice swift current. So I would try to find a bridge with a nice swift current. And then I would just kind of go, whoops. and slipped that book right through the window. I wouldn't have that crap in my house for nothing. Who would want Kate's fashion contacts? But remember, Kate said that she thought that Meghan wanted her fashion contacts. And that is how all of this animosity started. That's how all of this side eye and um, evil eye stuff started. It's because she thought that Meghan was desperate enough to ask for her fashion contacts. Make that make sense. If Meghan wanted to dress like a Stepford wife, she could just rent the movie, right? She could just stream the movie. But yeah, I think I would probably um well, I guess the Thames is okay. I would wait until it's like high tide in the Thames, and then I would drive across the Thames and in all of the confusion of the traffic and everything, I would just whip that book right through the window and out into the Thames so that it could wash out to sea. But I would not bring that list of coat dresses into my house. I wonder if there's a chapter called Wiglets. I wonder if there's a chapter called Wigs and Wiglets. Do you think so? I mean, I could just imagine Kate asking Megan, "Where do you get your wiglets from?" And Megan say, "These aren't wiglets. That's my hair." You know what I'm saying? Because Kate I'm probably sure that Kate could not believe anybody's hair could just be naturally full. Something she's only achieved but with a series of wiglets, half wigs, two wigs sewn together. uh, every wig has like the equivalent of a can of mousse or whatever product she used in her hair. Every wig has the equivalent of that soaked into it. Anyway, Harry return might force the Waleses to work harder for the king. Did we not just discuss this? Did we not just have a discussion about Harry and Meghan forcing them to work harder? And I was trying to think about another occasion where um, Will and Kate had to really up the ante and work even harder because of the presence of Harry. But for Meghan, Meghan doesn't even have to go over there. Meghan just needs to schedule something. You know what? I bet you that I bet you Kate Middleton hates when the Sussexes gives prior notice before they do something, before they go on a tour or something like that. Because if they do, then that means that they have to schedule things to do. But if it's like a last minute thing, then they don't have to work as much. But if there's notification, then they may have to do at least 3 days of work, back to back. And that is very unwilling, Kate. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of melanated Mona. Melanated Mona, I believe that that is someone pretending to be of African descent, and they just are not. But they use that name so that people will believe that not all black people like Harry and Meghan. Well, I'm sure they don't. But this one, this person in particular, you know, I would believe that this was a just a person who's got their opinions, but like any other Deranger account, all they do is talk about Harry and Meghan. They have no other purpose or goal than to find some way to try to expose the Sussexes. So that's why I don't believe this person. But anyway, as Zandy Sussex says, who knew I'd ever see eye to eye with a deranger, faking an illness and using it as a convenient excuse to disappear, avoid work, and escape scrutiny for years was never going to end well. Eventually, even the derangers saw through it. Now, if you take a look back on the left again, until William becomes king, she may have to take the back seat, meaning Kate, of course, because right now, almost anything she does publicly from now will be interpreted as competition. You cannot disappear strategically for years and then become aggressively visible the moment the Sussexes return. You guys got that? So, this is a deranger, someone who has devoted this account to being very rude and negative and nasty to the Sussexes, is calling out Kate Middleton. Mild and unassuming leftist says Mona leaves out the part where both William and Kate became, that is, aggressively visible whenever Harry is in the UK for his charities. Their empty calendars suddenly became quite full, although not Princess Anne level full. And then Phyllis Brothers says, so if Kate takes a back seat, it's because she doesn't want to appear to be competing with Meghan and not because she's lazy and dull. The media is already implying that Harry and Meghan will overshadow Will and Kate's non existent work. Non existent work. Let that sink in. Well, mark this one in the calendar because Melanated Mona has called out Kate Middleton. Yes, their standard bearer, the English Rose, has been called out. Baron, do you find it funny, sad that most British people is telling the Sussexes to be silent, private, do few Brit charities like that worked well the last time? The British people really fear Meghan's Instagram posts. You know what, Arrington? That is a great observation because that is what they told Meghan before is to try to be 50%. Try not to be so overexposed. Try to try to be invisible. Well, this should be easy because Meghan is not there for any official royal duty. Meghan may have the occasional odd charity somewhere, but she is not there to function as the so called working royal. So it should be easy. But yeah, thank you. That's a great observation. Now, Um, the king is severely underestimating the extent of Harry and Meghan's unpopularity. By the way, this is a deranger. People would literally rather have Andrew and Fergie on the balcony than have the Sussexes anywhere in the country. And trust me, that's not because anyone actually likes Andrew and Fergie. Um, I forgot to add the caption from the person who shared that. Do you guys see a problem with this? Do you guys see a problem with that um, post? Because I'm going to tell you what it is. The person who shared this, and like again, I always say, I don't like to take credit for other people's stuff. Sometimes I just forget to give them the credit for it. But this was not me. Someone else found this. But isn't it awkward that a deranger posts this on their ex, formerly known as Twitter, with Kate's image as their avatar, as their profile picture? So obviously, this is someone team Kensington Palace. And if this person was actually speaking for the Welleses, this person is saying, hey, Will and Kate would rather have Andrew and Fergie, two people who have been found wanting in their characters. They would rather have these two on the balcony than Harry and Meghan. You know what that sounds like, right? That sounds just like the article that was in all likelihood leaked by Kensington Palace saying that Will and Kate would much rather have Prince Andrew for a neighbor than Harry and Meghan. See, this person is saying the quiet parts out loud. You guys, I don't care what the palace say about Andrew's titles. He is still Prince Andrew. And I don't care how many faces that William makes and how many times his people leaks how upset he is. Um, William loves Uncle Andrew, and he's always going to have respect for Uncle Andrew, and he's always going to include Uncle Andrew. They are going to do it very privately and very discreetly, but Andrew is still very much deep in the fold of that family, and nobody is going to convince me different. Just like we found out that Charles wanted to invite Andrew up to Balmoral. The only reason why they are so into Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, Sarah, I'm sorry, Duchess Sarah. Uh, I'm just going to call her what she is. She's a Duchess. The only reason why they're so fascinated with them and care so much for them is because they're not a threat. They're not going to steal headlines from Charles and Godzilla and William and Kate. They're not going to, most people are just, I don't think anybody cares about Andrew. I really don't. Because the same country where you have this silent majority of people who will not say anything to defend Meghan, and you got a very vocal minority of people that are actually the problems. Most of the people in Britain do not have it in for Meghan. They do not have it in for Harry. It is that very loud minority of people, the mean pensioners and the royalists and monarchists, they're the ones that are the troublemakers. And I'm afraid that with equal measure, there's a very vocal group of monarchists and royalists that don't mind that Andrew is still around. They don't care that he's living in government owned housing or crown estate. They don't care about that. They don't care that King Charles is paying for his security at about £3 million a year. That does not interest them. What they care about is to make sure that that Black American woman and her children are not protected by UK tax dollars, even if the kids are in line for the throne. It doesn't matter. That's what they get for having a mixed race mama. They just do not care. Well, I tell you, this is some strange times that we live in. And just like in the US, the same thing is happening over here. A very vocal, very active minority of people are making life very difficult for everyone else. I guess that's universal. Just a handful of bad actors can mess up everything. Okay. Now, you knew I was going to have a sound bite or two or three. So we might as well get cracking. Okay. And as per usual, you can go ahead and say it with me. We'll talk about it on the other side. Okay. We'll talk about it on the other side. Okay, here goes.
Moved back here yet, and it is like they've learnt nothing from the last time round. And Meghan has spoken, and Harry has written about in his book, actually, the impact that intense scrutiny had on both of them, but on Meghan in particular. And it's difficult not to think about Princess Diana and the intensity of the media scrutiny with regard to her and how tragically that ended. And it is like literally no lessons have been learned here. I mean, to be serious for a moment, they're not even back yet. We don't know any details. The speculation, the sheer number of headlines, the domination of the front pages, right? I am Team Meghan. But the reason I'm Team Meghan is because of all of the vitriol that she has been on the receiving end of. A lot of it, of which was racist. Let's call it what it was. You know, when you compare those headlines side by side of how Catherine and Meghan are portrayed in newspapers for engaging in exactly the same behavior, whether it's ordering flowers for their wedding or favoring a particular type of scented candle or stroking their baby bump, there is a very clear agenda to play into all kinds of tropes around what Black women are supposedly like. They haven't even.
So, yeah, she said they haven't even moved over here yet. You guys, if you are a deranger, if you are a right wing conservative, if you are, let me see, if you voted for Donald Trump, okay, if you're one of those people, if you're a MAGA, please leave Royal Sussex. Please do. I don't want your engagement. I don't want you here. I really don't. Because the same people that believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim, he was born in Jakarta, Indonesia. They have been grooming him to be president ever since he was an infant. He never did have the what was that? The Harvard Law Review. He was never the what do they call it? The president, I think it was. No, none of that happened. He doesn't have a college degree. They faked his birth records, his school records, and the same people have that energy for Meghan. She's older than what she says she is. She never did have those kids. Her mother was in the penitentiary. Um, what else? Oh, she didn't pay anything for school. Her father paid for everything, including lunch. Let's see what else. And oh yeah. And did she Googled Harry because living in Canada for what 7 years, she didn't have the same general knowledge of the royal family that the rest of us do. So she had to Google Harry so she can find out some more basic knowledge that you can get anywhere or whatever. I mean, just and on and on and on. If you are one of those people, just leave. Just leave. I'm not here for you because I'm going to end up making you very upset because if you are a monarchist or a royalist, you know already that I'm going to pretty much drag everyone besides Harry and Meghan, Archie and Lily, and of course I don't mess with the Wells's kids, but everybody else is fair game. So just leave. I mean, this whole cultural war, this whole conservative right wing agenda, alt right, it is just diminishing Western civilization. Every day we're that much worse off. Every day. And it's just sad that people actually look at all those people that have been kicked out of the United States. Well, we thought he was just going to go after the criminals. Uh huh. Okay. And then, of course, you wonder why, let's say, your wife or your uncle or whoever is in the grocery store, you wonder why you don't see them coming out of the store. Well, when nobody was looking, they got snatched by the feds or by ICE or whatever. Oh my God. What are we doing? What is happening to this world? Oh, you guys, just stick around. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm only just getting started. Now, anatomy of royal smear campaign against Meghan Sussex. Fast, fake, and profitable. Bronte Coy, a royal rat and known Sussex hater, drops a rumor. Meghan is returning to acting world exclusive. No proof, no source. The Rangers and useful idiots believe this and start posting this lie as if it is a fact. Tina Brown, friend of King Charles, bigger platform amplifies. Boom, it's news. Then copycats and useful idiots like the BBC, Sky, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Yahoo, blasted everywhere without verifying. A day later, Tina Brown backtracks. Due to leak and backlash, the deal is off, implying Meghan is desperate and begging a nobody like Guy Ritchie for a job and can't be trusted. Backlash. There was never a deal. Guy Ritchie, a friend of Prince William's show, is just it just got free global publicity. This is a digital, I'm sorry, not digital, but digital colonization in the 21st century. Okay? So, thank you to the squatty that investigated this. FYI, I have not independently investigated it myself, but I do trust the source. So I'm going to share it as I received it. These people are making billions with a B, billions of dollars. The media landscape is making billions of dollars. And some people have the nerves to get upset because of the price of jam that is made in small batches in an artisanal workshop. Not some big factory somewhere, but somewhat of an artisanal setup. They make things in small batches. And there's something to be said when they make things in small batches. Meghan even shared a video of how they produce the jam. It is mechanized and such, but you can see the fresh ingredients. And so it costs what it costs. If you went to any farmer's market, you're going to pay at least $10. Because when you make things in small batches like that, just like some of the Indian dishes that I enjoy, there are some manufacturers that make these meals ready to, heat and eat in very small batches. That's the way you can maintain quality. Which, by the way, they have a great selection of meals at Trader Joe's. But that's how you maintain quality. And sometimes to do that, it costs more. And that would be okay for anyone else on planet Earth, except for Meghan. Meghan cannot charge a fair price based on the ingredients, the manufacturing. She cannot charge a fair price. There was even that one idiot that was criticizing Meghan, saying that, well, this jam came from a kitchen about, what was it, 2,000 miles away, 1,800 miles away? And what is your point? Where does the High Grove products come from? Certainly not Charles's kitchen, which I wouldn't eat anything out of that kitchen if you paid me, but certainly not out of the High Grove kitchen. I mean, after all, it is 2026. We don't eat stuff out of people's kitchen like that. Unless you go to a farmer's market. Oh, boy. Anyway, so there you have that. Now, this is very small print. I'll do my best. I can't see worth a lick. Okay. There are publicity stunts, and then there is the deliciously British art of allowing someone else to do the publicity for you. Guy Ritchie, Madonna's former husband, appears to have a rather deftly dangled the suggestion that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, might be making an appearance in his Netflix series, The Gentleman, thereby sending the gossip columns into a respectable little frenzy. Then, having enjoyed the resulting free publicity and watched interest in the series merrily skyrocket, he simply denied the whole thing and carried on with his day. One might almost call it genius. No expensive advertising campaign, no tedious press tour, just a strategically placed rumor, a raised eyebrow, and an impeccably timed denial. Meghan's notoriety working beautifully for someone else for once. Guy Ritchie, score 1. Meghan, 0. Quite the masterclass in turning someone else's infamy into your own publicity. How frightfully efficient. Well, isn't that the second time that that's happened this month? Huh? Is that the second time that that has happened this month? Because I think we just went through the same thing with Martha Stewart, who overheard something she didn't overhear. You guys, I'm going to keep it 100. I probably kind of overdid it when it came to shopping for as ever products. But as fortunes have changed, my shopping will be curtailed. I am still going to buy the new stuff that comes out, maybe. But because I'm going to support Meghan as best I can. But I have to say that everyone that I have gifted a candle to, a bottle of wine, and of course the orange marmalade, you name it, I hear the same thing. Good stuff. The tea, good stuff. Very high quality. So where that's concerned, it costs what it costs. But I don't see anybody trying to help Meghan, but Meghan is helping everybody else. I don't think there's enough people that are uplifting and supporting Meghan's products. I mean, I do what I can. You guys know I freely advertise whatever Meghan has. I take time, I create the slides, I make sure that I share the videos, whatever. But I wish some of those other people would take the time to do that. You know, especially if you're one of the tabloid media types. Okay, maybe you can't write something nice in your newspaper, then do it on your Substack, do it on your podcast. You're making a fortune off of Meghan, and she deserves a break. And I hope that that somebody will say, actually, I kind of like it, instead of the usual vitriol and hate. I mean, after all, she is putting your kids through school. What about Robert Jobson? I bet you he's never had a pot of jam he found disagreeable. Anybody would buy something. I would buy something he recommends because he looked like he know what he's doing. Okay, that was uncalled for. But you know what I'm saying? I could trust Robert Jobson because if anybody look like they're a credible witness when it comes to food, I mean, let's face it, he seems to know what he's doing. If you ever like new to town and you can't figure out where to eat, just follow Robert Jobson. At some point, he's going to lead you to a restaurant. Now, of course, he might turn around and say something to you like,
"Who do they think they are?"
But if that doesn't happen, then you know, just go wherever he going. Oh, now you see, that's interesting. I opened one bottle of wine and I'm saving like one of each, right? I'm saving one of each for special occasions. But all of the extra bottles that I had, I have given away. So I'm saving one each because I do drink wine. But I just don't drink it that often these days. But I do like to pair a good meal with some wine. Um, and then, of course, whatever you don't drink, you can always cook with it. They say if it's good enough to drink, it's good enough to cook with it.
Who do they think they are?
All right, calm down, Jobo. I was just having some fun. So sensitive. Okay, soundbite. Soundbite.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are moving back to the UK, allegedly. And the news is spiraling all up and down my FYP on all the reasons why. They saying it's because he getting sued and he ain't got the money to pay the bill, so he got to get home to his family so they can pay it. They saying that his daddy dying, so he needs to close ranks and get back in the royal good graces. They saying that the United States school system sucks and they don't want their kids to be educated here because they might end up dumb. Well, that part might be true. They also saying that she gonna be in season 3 of The Gentleman. I said season 3 of The Gentleman. I love Theo James. So I turned on Netflix because I haven't even watched season 2 yet. Come to find out, season 2 of The Gentleman hasn't even dropped yet. It drops on September 3rd. Why y'all using that good lady's name to promote a show that ain't even came out yet and ain't gonna be out for a couple more years? Is she really gonna be on season 3 of The Gentleman? We haven't even seen season 2 yet. The only thing I need Meghan to do is drop the prices of that jam because her ads have been attacking me and I would like some jam and some of the chocolate and hell, maybe even a candle. I don't need the flour sprinkles, girl. I don't need the flour sprinkles, but I would like for the prices to come down a little bit. Every time I see one of those ads, I add to cart and then I look at my cart and I'm like, damn. I got about 3 jams in here and some chocolate, and it's looking like $200 something. I'm not paying for that. Who am I entertaining? And I know I could be a little less greedy and get one of the sampler trios for $42, but then I'm like, I don't know if I even want those 3 flavors. I want to try the other 3 flavors. And then next thing you know, I got every flavor in my cart. That's crazy. I really have a problem here, and I need somebody to solve it. But come on, Meghan. I know you got some extra jam in them cabinets. Don't put them in a moving box. Put them in a PR package and send them on over to me. Or I'll be in London September 9th through the 14th. I can come over and get a fresh batch. So Meghan and Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are moving back to the UK.
Okay. Well, needless to say, he is a very spirited gentleman. And I don't know about you, but I think somebody is trying to get a PR package from the Duchess of Sussex. I wish him luck because I tried to get some free matches and that didn't work out. Okay, I tried to get some free matches and ask me, did I get my matches yet? No. But if he can get some free merch, I ain't mad. I'm not gonna hate him. I'm not gonna hate on him for getting what he wants out of life. But I'm just telling you, I tried to get some matches and I was unsuccessful. So good luck, sir. I don't know who he is though. Someone posted him on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I did not see anything for him. You know what I mean? I didn't see. I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but if I can find out, I will share it with you. I think he's. I think he's funny. Lots of fun, cute. Uh, and he is definitely angling for a PR package. But I say, just just get it. I did. Um, I'm not sorry. So far, I have to say that my favorite of the spreads is the apricot. I love raspberry. Do you understand me? I love raspberry. By the way, you guys, someone sent me a box of the Meghan cookie mix. I don't know how anybody still has cookie mix, but someone, one of the squatties, one of the usual suspects, sent me a box of the shortbread cookies, and I just cooked them yesterday. And I put some of the blackberry preserve or the blackberry spread. You know how she makes those thumb cookies? Oh my God, it was so good. I made a raspberry one and I made the blackberry, and it was delicious. So I still have some cookie dough left. I only cooked half of it. I am going to use the apricot for the next batch. I'm going to do like half apricot and half blackberry. So if you do have the jam or the marmalade, but you don't have cookie mix, go to the grocery store and get yourself some of those, some of that instant cookie dough, the kind that's already made in the, just like the plain sugar cookie or whatever. Get that. Just use that. Unless you want to mix your own, it's not that difficult to make your own cookie mix. But Megan's cookie mix, all you need is 2 sticks of unsalted butter. So if you do have a box of cookie mix and all of a sudden you get that urge to make some, remember unsalted butter. If you use regular butter, you are going to be crying like a rat eating onions because you are going to have cookies that are way too salty. But they're so easy to make. So that's what I did. I just, you know, added some preserve to it, cooks up nicely, and you will not be sorry. Oh, isn't it the last word? I love it too. But the orange marmalade, it actually, with the cookies, I mean, it's good on this, with anything else, but with the cookies, out of all of the fruit spreads, it's the one that I believe is the thicker. Is much thicker. Plus, it has little bits of, I guess, there's little bits of orange peel or whatever, which gives it such a good fresh taste. Like it's as close as you can come to having an orange, but not. Um, so it's really good. It is really, really good. Now, I I think I'm gonna try to make some orange chicken. You know how they have like the orange chicken in the like Panda Express or something like that. I think I'm gonna try to do that. See if I can make some orange chicken. Okay, now that I've made everyone hungry, let's continue. Now, you guys, didn't I tell you that it's going from bad to worse? Didn't I tell you that there's the brink of insanity and then there's the abyss? Well, we have just reached the abyss. Megan uh, introduced us to the chickens with the Oprah Winfrey visit, right? And of course, the canines, they've always been around. Well, if you look at this, Harry and Meghan's chickens to stay in Montecito. The Telegraph, which tries to portray themselves as being a sophisticated, worldly newspaper, have just shared an article about the Sussex's chickens. Now, everybody knows that the Sussex's chickens are ride or die. Everybody knows that. They have seriously picked the wrong chicks to mess with. Um, I think the chickens really should go and be a part of their security team because nobody messes with a Sussex chicken. What a clever way to protect your home. Instead of having like some burly security personnel that everybody would be looking for, or instead of, looking for one of the dogs to come storming at you, well, that's very uh, obvious. Why not have armed chicks patrolling the perimeter? Why not have some armed chicks? A perp wouldn't even be looking for that. They wouldn't even see them coming. Okay? And next thing you know, they're Swiss cheese. Just think about it. So maybe the chickens really should go. By the way, you guys, I probably wasn't supposed to reveal the true nature of the Sussex chickens, but seeing that I did, try not to let that get around. That's just for us to know. Okay. And then there is what will happen to Meghan and Harry's dogs when they return to the UK? Duchess has already had to leave one beloved pet behind after moving from Toronto to London. Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? I'm scared. I'm so scared. I kind of feel like that some kind of portal has opened and I have somehow drifted into another time and space. And I'm in a place where we are more concerned about someone's chickens and dogs than we are about their children, their mom, and of course their husband, and them as well. Um, how did I get here? How did I cross over into a universe where chickens and dogs are far more important than people? Did I bump my head or something? Am I having an outer body experience? Oh, anyway, that is, let's see, Muriel says, by the same British tabloid who love to call Harry and Meghan irrelevant. Yes, the very irrelevant Sussexes. Not only do they write articles about them and occasionally about their children, but they are actually concerned about Archie's chick in and the family's, what is it, Mamma Mia, and what's the other one's name? Where are very nervous. They're worried. Oh well. Let's see. Madison says Charles travels with his toilet. And Oprah, I believe Oprah used to travel with her own mattress. I do believe Oprah used to travel with her own mattress. She took it every place she went. Okay, maybe I was wrong about that. Okay, so they say it's not documented, so I withdraw that. I thought I heard her say that, but maybe I didn't. And then again, why would she say that? Okay, I take that back. Okay. Maybe it was a mattress pad. Maybe I got it wrong. Oh, well, let's keep it moving then. Mike Tapp, you don't always have to agree with Harry to welcome him home. The Duke of Sussex has done a great deal for Britain and deserves more generosity from us. Let's see. Prince Harry has done a great deal for Britain. It's time we said so. Let me see. For Harry, oh, why is that messed up like that? Has been discussed through the prism of controversy. Anyway, this Mike Tapp person is of the opinion that Harry deserves a break, that he has done a lot for the country, and now it's time that people show him the proper respect and stop being shady. And I agree. Harry has worked very hard um, for Britain, and I really hate that all of the Sussexes' hard work, because they are two very hardworking people, but the derangers and of course um, the tabloid people, they are trying to take away their history. They're trying to make people believe that they're the lazy ones, not Will and Kate. I've heard them sometimes uh, say, "What do they do all day?" Especially Harry. Well, what does Harry do all day? None of your damn business. That's what he does. How about that? None of your business. By the way, you guys, King Harald of Norway, they say that he is very ill and that the doctors are concerned about him. I think we've heard that before, right? When a monarch is not well and the doctors are concerned. So if you are a supporter or a fan of the King of Norway, make sure you keep him in your prayers. I don't know anything about him, but um, he seems to be incredibly popular. Yeah, anyway, his name is King Harold. Royals unite at Balmoral. William and Kate attend church service with children in united front ahead of Harry's return. Again, you guys, I would love to say that they're doing something extra, but some people have reminded us that this is par for the course. They do this every year, and they would have gone to church today regardless. The only thing that we can say for sure is that it's a big story because of Harry and Meghan. If it wasn't for the Sussexes, no one would pay attention. Remember, the same press that had no concern or regard for Commonwealth Day, now they're the same press that's pouring all over this event, a, yearly trip to church from Balmoral because of, oh well. Okay. Once again, I'm telling you guys, buckle your seatbelt because remember how I said it goes from bad to worse? Would you believe me if I told you, or if I had not showed you this screenshot here? Would you have believed me if I said, guess what? Harry and Meghan Markle Sandringham dreams shattered as Christmas outing in doubt. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are coming back to the UK, but they likely won't be joining the royals at family gathering, reports claim. You know how after Halloween people say, oh no, after the 4th of July, right? In the US, after Independence Day, people say, God, it was just the 4th of July. Why do they have the Halloween stuff out already? Okay. And now, of course, it's not even what is it, Labor Day, and already they got the Halloween stuff out. Well, Halloween is gonna be coming up pretty soon, but Christmas, we haven't even had Halloween, and already they're talking about the Sussexes will likely uh, not have an invite for Christmas. I wasn't even thinking about this crap. I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't until I saw this, I was like, oh, yeah, that is a thing, isn't it? Well, if they want people to actually pay attention, they should lie and say the Sussexes are coming, which, you know what? They're probably going to do that. They are probably going to do that. They are going to lie and say that the Sussexes are going to be there because that way it can look like they're being punished. God, you know what? When this starts making sense, you know you're in over your head when it starts to make sense. But I get it now. Just like they did every year with the balcony. Will they or won't they be on the balcony? Now, that was kind of a tough sale because they wasn't even in Britain. But after they're done with Christmas, you know what the next thing is going to be? The balcony. The balcony. No. I take it back. After Christmas comes Easter. No. Commonwealth Day, Easter, the balcony. You guys, we're going to have to go through this. We're going to have to go through this. I promise you. It is going to be Christmas, Commonwealth Day, the Troop in the Colors balcony, Royal Ascot, Wimbledon. Because these people actually, you know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about that time when the Obamas had a big birthday party for Barack Obama to celebrate his 60th birthday? I think it was. And the Sussexes had a very quiet celebration for Meghan at home in Montecito. And yet the tabloid media and the derangers, Megan's not invited to the star-studded Barack Obama birthday party. They trashed and slammed Barack Obama's birthday while simultaneously, when that Aunt McFartland, whatever his name is, when he was getting married, they said nothing about the lack of mask at his wedding during the global pandemic. But they accused the Obamas of being responsible for a local outbreak during the pandemic, even though everyone was tested at the birthday party. And furthermore, they wanted Meghan with her newborn child to leave California and go to Martha's Vineyard for Barack Obama's birthday. Leave your infant child and go to Barack Obama's birthday. Never mind the fact that you both have the same birthday. That's not important. But you are to leave your home and go to Barack Obama's birthday. Otherwise, that means you were not invited, and that means you are not worthy or worthwhile. That was the whole point of that, was to make people believe that the Sussexes are so unpopular. They were not invited to Barack Obama's birthday. They were not invited to, what was it? The Met Gala. They were not invited to the Oscars, the Grammys, the Tonys. And now we find out the Sussexes are not invited to Christmas. I'm not well, you guys. I am not well. I am going to have to go in there and open up one of those bottles of wine. My nerves are bad. My nerves are bad because the Sussexes may not go to some place that they probably were not invited and wasn't planning to go anyway. But it gives the tabloids something to talk about. You guys, I have just laid out several items for the summer, or should I say for the rest of this year. Well, the rest of this year and next year. Several items that are likely to be a reason why everyone should rally around the monarchy and Will and Kate and pay no regards to, their own situation. So, okay. Seeing is believing. Sarah Vine says, sorry, Meghan, there's a new Fab 4 now, and I wouldn't want to be in your shoes facing these remarkable, glamorous women across the damask, the mask in the in the drawing room at Balmoral. Yes, she would not want to. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't want to face them old broads in some drawing room at Balmoral. Have you seen the state of them? I wouldn't want to face them. At least 3 of them are the stuff of nightmares. Fashion contacts. Let me see. Snotty. Was that Snotty of Windsor? Oh, I can't see that. Let me see. Yes, Snotty of Windsor, outdated.com. Don't ring us, we'll dump free to you. Oh, okay. Anyway, one of our favorite squatties made that. I think it's pretty cute. But yeah, you guys, that's the new Fab 4. Although it seemed like it would make sense to call them the old Fab Four. I mean, look at the state of them. If they were groceries and someone tried to slide them across the reader at the cash register, if it's a very smart cash register, it would take a look at the date of creation and declare that these products are unfit. They're unfit for anything. I mean, this looks like a pensioners meeting or something. You know that's bad when well, I don't know, they kind of look like a poor man's they kind of look like a poor man's Golden Girls, right? Instead of the Golden Girls, it's the polished girl. I'm not polished, but the what am I looking for? The corroded girls. You know how like brass starts to dull and it gets that patina? They all seem to have their own patina. Anyway, well, good luck with your Fab Four. They're going to need it, especially that one on the far right side. And the one second to the right is somewhat cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Ugh. And look at Camilla got the nerves to cross her legs. Tough habit to break, ain't it? Trying to show off. Tough habit to break. That goes for you too, Sophie. Or should I call you Sofa? Because she was sitting on the sofa and talking real bad about the royal family with that with that fake chic. I wonder if she was smiling like that when she was talking to that fake chic. Oh well. The Witches of Windsor. Ladies and gentlemen, the Witches of Windsor. Ain't that a witch? Meghan is being cruelly used, Liz Jones warning to the Duchess as her film offer is abruptly withdrawn. Okay. We know. I'm going to skip that. It is serious anyway, let me play this for you. I got another soundbite, you guys.
My only proviso being that I hope that
Okay, sorry, not yet. Let me see.
Interested in, and it also has whatever you think of Harry and Meghan, whatever you think of the royal family, this is one of the biggest running news stories in the world. The schism between William and Harry. That is a big global news story that all news organizations around the world are interested in, and it also has serious political and constitutional angles, which mean that it is in the public interest to report it. It is a legitimate news story for everybody, from the BBC to the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, to the tabloids. Now, until these two brothers get together or show us that there is a rapprochement, that story will make it very difficult, because every single thing they do, wherever William goes, he will be asked about this, because Harry is back in the neighborhood now. He's back in the hood. And it was much easier for the palace when he was over in California. But when he's, in Oxfordshire or Berkshire or Northamptonshire or wherever he's going to be, they will be. And it is so. All we don't need cuddles. We don't need posed up folk. We just need a briefing that they have met. That sort of thing. And if any of the PR people in the palace, and they're very good there, they don't want him back in this country, because it makes it much more difficult to manage this real issue. This is a real PR crisis for the royal family. And there's just one other thing here. We mustn't forget that for younger generations of British people, they ask themselves, as we all do as we grow up, what's the royal family for? Why do we have a royal family? If you have this schism in public, younger generations are going to ask that question more and more, and the powers know that. So they have to solve this. William has to reach out. If he doesn't, we're going to be talking about this, people like you and I, every day for years, and it's going to become a reputational threat to the royal family. Whatever.
You guys, I was just talking about that with someone earlier today. They were asking me about Archie and Lily's titles, and I explained that Prince Andrew is still Prince Andrew. He is going to live as a prince and he will die as a prince, but he's always going to be Prince Andrew. His grave will be marked with the name Prince Andrew. They have not taken his titles away. If you recall, they said that they would have to get into a debate in Parliament, and there's no appetite for that type of public scrutiny. They would rather not even, talk about it. They don't want to debate. Debates could take you in the wrong direction. So better to leave it alone than to start something you cannot finish. So he definitely got it right with that one. He definitely got it right. There is no appetite amongst members in the government and, of course, the royal family. So Archie and Lily, I think they are going to be safe as far as that's concerned. But we shall see. We shall see. Does William want to target and traumatize a whole family just because of some vendetta? He is petty enough to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. He is petty enough to do it, but just because you can do it don't mean you ought to do it. So we'll see what happens.
Whatever you think of.
Okay. So David Yellen, host of When It Hits the Fan podcast and former editor of The Sun, told the BBC Breakfast, with the return of Prince Harry to the UK, the royal family needs to resolve the split with Prince William. Everything that they've done so far has not helped. It has not been useful. If they really want to make a difference, stop making those darn videos and posting them online. First of all, stop doing that. And then try to make amends. I don't think either brother needs to apologize. I certainly don't ever want to see Harry apologize. As a matter of fact, William is the one who needs to apologize, and he's not going to do it. But this cannot go on like this, especially if the Sussexes are going to be a part of that community. So, okay. All right. Here's another thing that we just discussed. Harry and the military. Harry will be welcomed back by veterans like me. You guys, I am so overdue for my eye exam, and I cannot see. Let me make that bigger. Okay. Oops. Up. What did I just do? Okay. Hamish de Breton Gordon. Hamish de Breton Gordon, OBE, Order of the British Empire, was an army officer for 23 years, reaching the rank of colonel. And in 1991, he saw active service in Iraq with the 14th and 20th King's, Hussar, as part of the First Gulf War, was commanding officer of the UK's Joint Chemical, Biological, Radiological, and Nuclear Regimen and NATO Rapid Reaction CBRN Battalion. In other words, he'd been there, saw that, been there, seen that. Okay. So he deserves a great deal of respect himself. But he is making it very clear that whenever Harry comes back, he is definitely going to be welcome. It's worth remembering something that seems to be forgotten in the endless Sussex saga. Prince Harry served 2 tours in Afghanistan. I was in the Afghan theater during the first tour and know that these were not comfortable postings behind a desk. He went into combat zones and, like thousands of other young servicemen and women, put his life on the line for his comrades. That matters to us. Hamish says Harry's return would be welcome if he comes back to as a champion of those who served and have served. Of those who serve and have served. If he comes back as a champion of those who serve and have served. Anyway, let that sink in. Let that sink in. Oh, what is this? Harry was my air support in Afghanistan in 11, 12. Dude helped us out a couple of times. And what does that say? I'm an American, and I was an American infantryman. He was part of our Apache air support out of Forward Operational Base. I think that's what FOB is. Forward Operations Base Shank. He flew in the same area, Extortion 17, got shot down. I give 0 craps about the monarchy, but Harry did his job and did it well. How about that? How about that, you guys? See, the derangers, they love to say things like, well, he just sat behind the desk. He never did face any risk. You guys, Harry had a royal protection officer. Did you guys know that? When Harry went to Afghanistan, he was accompanied by a royal protection officer. But when he sat in the cockpit of that helicopter, oh, uh-oh. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. Oh, my lamp fell over. Sorry. Oh, my lamp fell. Oh. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. My lamp fell over. I was elevating my desk and my lamp fell over. So when Harry sat in the cockpit of that helicopter, he was quite alone. There was no royal protection officer. He was unguarded, unprotected. Now, I do think the airship had two pilots, I think. But there was no royal protection officer. If Harry would have been shot down and captured, could you imagine the horror that he would have gone through? But he was brave and determined to fight. Having witnessed the 9/11 on television while he was away in boarding school, he was determined to fight the fight. And he did. And they want so desperately to take that away from him. So when you guys are wringing your hands and saying that, oh, they're going to try to take Invictus away from him, I'm not saying that we should ignore it. But at the same time, I'm kind of not bothered by that. I'm not worried about it. He was a co-founder of Centabale, and they trusted someone born of the continent, and someone who looked like the people that they were there to serve. I don't think anybody could prepare themselves to believe that someone would misappropriate funding that was meant for, who would know that? And Harry was not on the board. They had a board. Harry left out of solidarity with the board. He was not kicked out, he quit. But there's so much difference between the Invictus games and Centabale. But you guys, I still cannot believe that Sophie Chandaka. I just cannot believe it. When I think of the damage that person has done, I cannot make my mind believe it. I mean, I know it happened, but I was so proud of her. And I thought she would have been just perfect for that role. And she squandered it. And the worst part is she won't leave. She just won't leave. She believes that money is going to just fall out of the sky. There's a lot of people that don't like Harry, okay? But there's no eccentric billionaires out there that is going to give Sophie Chandaka a pile of money out of spite of Prince Harry. It's just not going to happen. What an idiot. God, I can't believe her. Prince Harry, top of class in U.S. helicopter training. The Apache helicopter, by the way, is a U.S. airship. Prince Harry has reportedly come top of the class during his Apache helicopter training in America. The 27-year-old who gained his wings earlier this year is said to be an exceptional pilot. Even amongst the elite corps of airmen chosen to fly the $40 million or 40 million pound two-man attack helicopter, he is currently taking part in exercise Crimson Eagle, which gives Army Corps pilots vital experience in live firing exercise on vast military ranges in the southwestern United States. The Sun, this is the Sun newspaper, the Sun reported that he has scored top marks in all challenges he has faced at the Naval Air Facility in El Centro, California. An Army source quoted by the newspaper said, "There are many skills needed to be a top drawer Apache pilot, but apparently it's Harry's flying that is particularly impressive. His handling, his eye coordination, hand-eye coordination, reaction speed, he's a natural." Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? And James Warden said, "I've said it before and I'll say it again and again. Harry was one of the finest soldiers I had the privilege of working with. Absolutely all over it." Y'all still think that Invictus is in danger of leaving Harry? The strongest confirmation from the UK government's own Ministry of Defense, rather than media reports. The key official sources are Ministry of Defense, Prince Harry qualifies as Apache commander, and that was July of 2013. Ministry of Defense, Captain Wells completes Apache training, 9 February 2012. Ministry of Defense, Prince Harry awarded flying wings, 7 May 2010. Ministry of Defense, Prince Harry ends his attachment to the Army Air Corps, 17 January 2014. If you are looking for evidence that is difficult to dispute, these MOD releases are the most authoritative because they are official British government statements issued during his military service. You can read them here. Prince Harry qualifies as Apache commander. Captain Wells, of course, says Prince Harry completes Apache training. Well, there you go. An outstanding record. An outstanding record. You know, I'm getting a little emotional. I am. I'm getting a little emotional because this kid makes me very proud. Very, very proud. Oh, you know what, guys? Speaking of proud, my little cousin, I guess he would be my second cousin or whatever. Anyway, my aunt had passed away. My cousin lived with her. And I'm sitting up here one day just minding my business, ain't bothering nobody, ain't thinking about nothing but what time am I going to do my podcast? And the phone rings. And this, how old is this kid? Oh, I don't know. I think he's 20 ish, 18, 20 ish. I don't know. I don't keep up with kids' age. But anyway, I know he's in college. And he said, I'm in the neighborhood. I just dropped off my friend. I wanted to come by and see how you're doing. And I was like, okay. Nowadays kids don't like to be bothered with old people. But I'm not so surprised because he's a good kid. But still, I was glad. And even better, because I actually had a Christmas present for him that I just didn't have time to give him. And so I had to go to the great pile, that stuff that I need to either throw it away, donate it, or dump it. And I said, before you go, I got your Christmas present. And I was praying, Lord, please let those things be right on the top of the pile. And yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was right there. It was meant to be. So I keep the door closed to the great pile. The rest of my home is immaculate, but the great pile is piling. I thought I was making progress, but I got distracted. Okay, let's get on with it then. How much more do I have? Oh, I'm almost done. Prince William witnesses intense indoor battle training. Watch. Yesterday, Prince William took part in close quarters battle training with the Mercian Regiment, testing drones in operational scenarios while also speaking with soldiers about their experiences and plans for new technologies. Ooh, I tell you, William was living by the seat of his pants, wasn't he? Now, no, he didn't go off to Afghanistan. He didn't serve 2 tours of duty. To be fair, he was the air ambulance pilot. As a matter of fact, sometimes he even went to work. But William is no what do they call that? No shrinking violet, no shrinking flower, whatever. William actually he witnessed, he ain't do nothing, but he witnessed intense indoor battle training. Now that should count for something, you guys, shouldn't it? So let's not judge William because of his lack of participation in anything significant. He did go and watch them, didn't he? Now that should count for something. I mean, I always knew William was kind of freaky, and it doesn't surprise me that he likes to watch. But I had no idea that he was so methodical about it. So, you guys, if anybody asks you, just say, yes, William likes to watch. Okay? Just say he likes to watch. It's something about him that just doesn't surprise me that he likes to watch. Does it surprise you? He seems like the type. Doesn't surprise me. I could see a watcher all over him. Just witnessing and watching all of those sweaty soldiers running back and forth, panting and huffing and puffing. wearing those what do you call it? Army fatigues and those helmets and um, what is it? Kevlar vest and all that kind of stuff. No doubt he was watching very closely. I am morbidly curious about how long he watched. Aren't you? I am. Anyway, watching Willie was there to watch the soldiers running and panting and huffing and puffing and going through their drills and motions and, standing, bending, squatting, reaching, holding their firearms. He was there for it. So before you guys criticize William for his lack of military experience, I can safely say that he did watch. He's right there watching. And then, of course, he retreated to his Range Rover. And I'm not saying that he had a cigarette, but I'm not saying that he didn't. After he got through watching, vigorously watching and observing the soldiers panting and running and bumping into each other, wrestling with fate. It's none of my business who he watches or why he watches or how long he watches. It's none of my business. The point is he was there. And then, of course, after, it was off to find that restaurant that has the delicious pulled pork sandwich. Yep. After all of that watching and observing, it was time for a delicious pulled pork sandwich, just like the kind he had in Poland. When he went to that bistro that he had never been to in his life, that just happened to serve the LGBTQ community. Not that that's a problem. And the fact that he had the menu committed to memory. Now, as a foil, he did hold the menu so that he would not draw attention to himself. But people tell me someone close to William, a source close to Kensington Palace, said that he has known that menu for quite some time. That was not his first time at a bistro. And certainly not the first time he had a pulled pork sandwich, I hear. That's just what they say. It was not his first pulled pork sandwich. So some of my information is deliberately ambiguous, thus allowing the listener to glean from it whatever he or she may. Okay? Hello, Ivy here. Hey, Ivy, it's been a long time. Thank you so much for being here. I was just talking about William's penchant for the pulled pork sandwich and the fact that he spent an inordinate amount of time watching those soldiers act out real battle scenes as he battled with the conflicts in his spirit. as he had his own internal battles, just watching them. Okay. As there was a symbolic war raging within the ranks, William was fighting a battle of his own, courageously fighting a battle. Chicken nuggets or pulled pork sandwich? That is the question. The answer might set him free. Anyway, I am going to leave William to William. The Invictus Games are coming to Asia for the first time. The Invictus Games de June. Is that how they say it? De June. 2029 will take place from 6th through the 15th of October of 2029, bringing the international Invictus community together for 10 days of sports, connection, and recovery, and in an around the, what is that? Is that Dejun? Dejan? I think I went to school with somebody named Dejun. Let me see how you say that, because I want to make sure I get that right. Hold on a second. You know how meticulous I am. Like Dijon mustard. Is that how you spell Dijon mustard? Dejan. Yeah, Dejan. Okay, Daejeon, Korea. Got it. Heather Stroud. Hi, Heather Stroud. I trust Harry to protect his family. He just had a successful holiday and no press saw him unless it was planned. Ginger Ninja. All right. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Harry moved like a ninja, in and out, back and forth, appearing and seemingly vanishing before the press even knew he was there. Now, this is very stealth-like quality. Exclusive news flash. Meghan UK acting deal is off. Oh, you know what? This is in the wrong place. This should have been up there at the top with the other one. Anyway, you can see what... Oh, anyway, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. We already discussed it. Now, I have the last soundbite for the day. And then after this, you guys, I did not mean to stay on for 2 hours. I got to stop doing this.
Every time that Harry and Meghan do something, I just wish that the royal family could have found a way to make Harry and Meghan work within the fold rather than outside of the fold. And I can't remember the last time a royal did something that was this interesting or that generated this much conversation. All they've done is say they're moving from the United States of America, where Meghan was born, to the United Kingdom, where Harry was born. And yet we're talking about it like they've just invented some sort of new cancer vaccine, which is going to solve problems for millions of people. They generate a type of buzz that, if utilised correctly, the royal family could really do with at the moment. The royal family have not had a very good couple of years. I think the last big thing that I remember happening to the royal family was that terrible picture that we saw of former Prince Andrew in that car in Norfolk going to a police station. And now there are these two young-ish, glamorous royals coming over from the United States of America. And the royal family don't seem to be able to find a way to make that into a positive for them. And I think that is a crying shame. just think every time that Harry and Meghan do something, I just wish that the royal family could have found a way to make Harry and Meghan work within the fold rather than out.
Okay, it was starting to repeat, but I think you got the gist of it. So Zandy Sussex says, I'm no fan of Albie Amankona, but he's speaking sense for a change. He's speaking sense for a change. He says the royal family's failure to understand what an incredible asset they have in Harry and Meghan is astonishingly inept. Also says, we're talking about Harry and Meghan possibly moving back like they've invented a cancer vaccine. He makes the point that Harry and Meghan generates exactly the kind of buzz and excitement the royal family desperately needs. In other words, love them or hate them, you'll still follow them. You just can't manufacture that kind of star power. So that was Zandy Sussex, a Sussex Squad warrior. So there you have it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As always, thank you for trusting me to do this work. That means more to me than you'll ever know. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. As you know, things have changed at the platform, and things are just not the way they used to be. You might even consider a membership to Royal Sussex. For just $4.99 a month, once a month, 12 times a year, you spend more on coffee than just one donation of $4.99. So do consider that. It is one of the best ways to support the channel and to offset some of what's been lost because of these short videos. The short videos. Now, I'm not bitter. It is the prerogative of the platform to satisfy their bottom line. So I am very appreciative to have the opportunity. However, it has been a challenge. So that's why I say do consider that. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says the ungodly family keeps foolishly fumbling the ball. And Bonnie Mighty said, I don't want Meghan back, and she's okay on the outside and do her thing, then go back on a leash. Well, yeah, I totally understand that, but it's a choice that had to be made, and the Sussexes have made their choice, and we just have to trust the process. We don't have to trust the institution, but we should give the Sussexes that consideration. Try to be positive, try to think positive, send all the positive vibes and prayers that you can, because they need it. They need us now more than ever before. Anyway, thank you very much. Jessica Foreman, Cookies and Cream, thank you for being a member. Heather Stroud, Ingrid Soers. Who else is a member here? Fancy. Hazel Jones. Is it Ecobella? All right, thank you very much. I'm scrolling backwards, so if I miss you by any chance, I do apologize. But Ah, Arrington W. Okay. I'm done scrolling. My apologies if I missed you. But again, thank you all very much. I will see you next time. Now, when I scroll, oh, it doesn't scroll over here, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. And then also I can do this, I think. Look at that. I can make it wider. I can make it regular. La petite, right? I can make it la petite. Poquito. I can make it tall. I can do a few things, or I can just take it off the screen. I feel so powerful. Okay, cheers. See you all next time.